Well, hey, Hannah, welcome back to the Banking Bros and the Cash Compound podcast.
Hey, man, it's good to be here. I love you guys. You guys are like my brothers.
Yeah, well, ever since we've been multiplying that money since 2017, we've had a relationship with you and your family, and you guys have really helped us launch into the brand that we are spreading across the U.S. today. And so we're so thankful for you, and we're glad to have you back on a joint broadcast situation. I think we're on yours, you're on ours. It's just a family affair here.
It's a whole podcast smorgasbord. I'm here too, y'all. Just in case you're listening.
Yes.
Welcome,
Jonah. Welcome. Glad to have you back on our podcast.
Yeah, you're welcome. I'm happy to be here.
Yes.
Hannah and I, man, we've recorded a couple podcasts together, but really this podcast is all about an event that we're going to be hosting and speaking at together. Also, we've put on some pretty cool events in the past. What do you say about that?
Yeah, no, and actually this is going to be the 6th live event that we've done as the Money Multiplier. And let me tell y'all this, because now we've known each other for 8 years. Can you believe it's almost a decade that we've been collaborating, doing all this? But I remember our first ever event, and this was when I was 19 years old. I'm 26 now. And I said, Dad, we need to get together our people. Everybody's all across the United States. We just need to get people in one room for them to connect, collaborate, and they can learn from one another. And then also us, as we just get up and we share our stories of what's working for us, what's not working for us. So I can't believe this is actually going to be our 6th one that we do, and it's going to be in Denver this year.
Love it. Well, we wouldn't miss it. You know that. Here's my question before we get into the details, because everybody is ready for the agenda and the lineup. I know they're ready.
They want to know what we're talking
There are a few tickets left in VIP as we record this right now. General admission has some spots. We hope you see this in time. We're going to fill out this room. But, Hannah, why is it important that we get together? I think many of our people out there are kind of hanging chads. I know you're down in Florida sometimes. And if you go back far enough, I know you're too young for that, but some of our people feel like they might be in their own silo, and they just don't have people. They don't even have family members, maybe.
They don't have community
that
where they can plug into and figure out what other people are doing and how they're using their policies and cool ideas and all that sort of stuff.
So are you seeing that across some of the Money Multiplier family, where people kind of feel orphaned or anything like that, in terms of, not in terms of the service, maybe. We're always here and we're available for mentorship, for coaching. But do people kind of feel alone?
Well, I put it into this perspective. It's almost like, because I love going to the arcade, okay? So that's what I like to do in my free time. And it's like that whack-a-mole game. You get out there, you start shouting from the rooftop about how cool whole life insurance is, how you can keep, grow, and manage your wealth, keeping it within inside the family. And you go out there and people are like, no, that's stupid. That's just expensive insurance. Whack. Yep. No, you should go out there and buy term and invest the difference. Whack. So then they don't want to just spread this message because there's so many naysayers and these big financial gurus that are just talking down because they just truly don't understand exactly what the power is of the infinite banking concept. So that's really what led me at 19 to want to put on an event like this, so that we're not feeling like we're a lone ranger on our own island ourselves. Because I'll tell you this, you're hitting the nail right on the head when you're saying that your friends and your family members, they are like the worst ones to talk about this with, because they're looking at you as, oh, well, that's just my daughter. That's just my son. That's my nephew. What do they really know about money? And I'll tell you, my aunt and my uncle, we've been practicing this since 2008, and we have over 30 policies just within our own Kesler family banking system. And since 2008, up to 2024, Aunt Sandy and Uncle Brad, they finally started their first policy. So I can't say that it's never going to happen, but it takes some time. Your friends and family.
Now, hold on, Jonah. She called him out.
She did. She did call them out by name. I got a sound for that though. For all those who are listening. You ready?
2 hours later.
Except it wasn't 2 hours. It was
2 decades. It was almost. Hold on. Okay, so Hannah, so you're telling me, I know that I'm just leading the witness here, but you're telling me that even a successful family as yours, you've been on television. I hear you were doing something on Detroit just this week. You've been here, there, and everywhere. New York Stock Exchange. You've been in Times Square, on the buildings, all that type of stuff, and your own family members still didn't pick up on it. Are you saying that it's okay if you're out there as a money multiplier, as an infinite bankers, one of our groups that we have out there, it's okay if your family hasn't caught on yet?
Yeah.
This is normal.
But they will. Just keep going. You got to lead by example.
Okay.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about what has been happening between last year and this year's event. There's been so much. We have done a lot of personal and professional development. That has been one of our strategic initiatives this year. Since about the time that we saw you last year in Nashville, I mean, we partied hard. It was great. There was a game show last year. We had Chris Noggle, of course, Brent Kessler, Stephen Nagy showed up late. He was coming out of a hurricane. So many great. Craig Yenny out there crunching the numbers for us. What has happened in your life and your professional world in the last year? There are plenty of people who went last year. Why should they come back? What is going on? Are you growing? Are you learning? Prove it. Tell us right now.
No. And specifically, too, because let me tell you, I have never been the one to want to know about the tax side of stuff.
Okay.
I'll tell you, just in my own personal and business development, I'm learning a lot more about taxes, how to minimize my tax liability. And those are things I want to share with my business owners, my W-2 people. We're going to be getting into, why, because a lot of things that people tell me, especially about infinite banking, my death benefit doesn't matter to me. But it's like, if you really understand the engineering behind the policies, you have to have a death benefit in order to have a cash value.
Right.
And in my opinion, if you just truly understand the inner workings of a whole life insurance contract, it just makes that vision so much clearer of why the policy operates the way that it does and why these mutually owned insurance companies are able to give us these guarantees that they are contractually promising to us. And then also, one thing that I didn't do last year, I actually have an insurance company panel coming out because I want y'all to hear it from the horse's mouth of, what is going up at the top executives of the home office. How are their portfolios looking? Where do they see the trends going in the future in the monetary realm? Actually, to be honest with y'all, I didn't even tell you this before we started recording, but I was on the phone call with one of my high income earners, and he's looking to do a boatload of money inside of his next policy. And apparently he's got like these relationships with the U.S. Treasury, and he's telling me that maybe the dollar next month is going to be tied back to gold.
Really?
Haven't heard that yet, but that's
You heard it here first. You heard it from Jonah. Give us some sort of.
I got you. Everyone's happy.
All right. Well, that's wild. That's wild.
Would be cool if that actually happens, but I haven't heard anything about that.
Who told you? Elon is his last name Musk?
Right.
Right. Who told you this? That's what I want to know. Well, we got to protect the wealthy around here. We can't tell you everything. So, Hannah, this is the next question I want to know. Since last year, now we did the event last year, the Money Multiplier Mastermind, in October or November last year?
Yep.
It was October as well. Okay. What have you taken loans out for? Have you used policies in the last 12 months?
So, okay, y'all get this. Do you remember at Nashville, I had to tell my father that because of the hurricane that hit Florida, that happened literally like right a few days before the event. Well, I left my van in the storage unit of where I keep it at. And long story short, the retention pond flooded. It came up about 4 feet. And so it totaled out my van. Luckily, Allstate paid out the claim. So that was nice. But obviously, they didn't cover any of my renovations I did inside of my conversion van. So because I like to be on the road, I actually went out and I purchased myself a new van that next month I'm ending my whole month of travels by picking up my new van in Las Vegas on the 15th of September. And I'm going to be driving it back home to Florida. So that's a big purchase. Just made this whole year. And I'll tell you, I mean, that van, it's a bougie van, way more bougie than the one that I had before. I mean, that's cost me about $200,000, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
I'm financing it all through my banking system, my policies.
Love to hear that. Yeah, love to hear that. I want to ride. I want to ride around.
Yeah, I saw the last one. But I think there was no shower in the last one. Is that true, Hannah? If I remember correctly?
And this one's got a shower.
This
man.
one's got a shower.
This one's got
We're
a shower.
gonna
Yes,
be clean
I do
this
remember.
time.
Yes,
Ain't nobody don't ask me. I'm just so fresh, so clean. That's for all the people listening.
no stank on you.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. I remember smelling you last year. So you're saying in 2025, you're smelling
so
way
full
better.
of it.
You're smelling way better. So you can come to the event, ladies and gentlemen. You can even give her a whiff. All right. If you sit in the front, we have tickets available in the front row still, right, Hannah? And you'll be smelling fresh.
We do only 5 though. Only got 5 tickets
Yes,
left.
VIP. Okay, so let's do a little bit of the agenda and let everybody know what's going down. So we are first full weekend of October. Mm-hmm. Yes. So what are the dates again?
October 9th, which is a Thursday. 9th is my VIP day. And then 10-11, classroom is in session Friday and Saturday.
Boom. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be on stage emceeing right there. Tell us how it starts. And, tell us the general sessions, what you can tell us so far. The agenda might be under lock and key. I know I'm going to be on stage helping out. And then we'll get into the extras for the VIP. So first full day on the 10th, what can we expect?
Yeah, because if you come to my events, I'm not telling you what's in the agenda. I'll tell you when sessions start and stop.
Right.
You got to be in the room to know what's going to be talked about during that moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, you give us a little hint there, though, because you had told us that you are going to be speaking. You are going to mention why death benefit is important. That is one thing that we have revealed so far. So there's a lot of people out there, Jonah, that we have this situation, Hannah, from years ago where Jonah didn't want to talk about death benefit. And I was trying to record a death benefit thing, and he was like, it's not important, but that was a long, long time ago. And death benefit, of course, is the core risk and protector that the insurance company takes away from a family, and they put the onus on them to have to pay. And that's the backbone of understanding how whole life insurance works. There's a guarantee on death, right?
There is. And actually, that's a perfect segue into the session also on Friday. Why whole life?
Okay.
There's all these other financial instruments out there. Why whole life? Why are you guys preaching and shooting from miles away about why whole life insurance? So we're going to be talking about that. We're even going to do a live what now, what's next economy update, which I think is very valuable, very important too. So if y'all know Chris Noggle, tune into his stuff. He does some episodes, like one every other week. He does a what now, what next. So we're going to do that live. And then also we're going to get into some games, the numbers game, which is a lot of fun. And then also real life case studies. So I have some of my people coming out, and they're just going to share their story of what they have done, how they got introduced to IBC, Infinite Banking Concepts, how they got introduced to it, where they started, and what they have been doing up to this point using their policies. So I think the real life case studies are going to be very powerful too, just because, you could be sitting there in the audience thinking, well, I don't really know where to go from here. But then once you start to hear other people's stories, you're like, oh, but I could do that. And I could incorporate that into my system too. So,
it's probably going to be my favorite part of the event there, hearing from real people tell us about what they've done, just like you did in this episode, telling us about your cash value loan for the new van. It's my favorite part of church, honestly, too, right? When you get people up there and they share their story, their testimonies, right? And so if you're wondering what in the world other people are doing, if you'd like to hear about maybe what we took loans for or what Hannah has done up until the event or some of the other people involved in this, you've got to be there. Can't miss it.
Yep. And then I know you, my brothers, are talking about the F word.
Whoa, my mom listens to this podcast, Hannah. Right.
You remember last year how y'all showed out in your t-shirts?
Yes. Okay.
Real quick, ADD moment. I got some new merch lined up too. Okay.
All right.
So
It's going to be fun. I'm trying to get early exclusive drops.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm trying to get the little promo
Pop-up
pack.
shop is
I'm
gonna
trying to get the
happen.
little promo pack sent to the house before. I'll do an unboxing video for you. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Put my stuff on.
All right.
It's going to be fun.
Football helmets.
And share the whole message of you finance every single thing that you buy.
Yes.
I mean, in my opinion, I think that's the premise of becoming your own banker is you are now recapturing every payment transaction back to yourself instead of having it be leaked out to other people or losing money, aka paying cash for things. So we're going to talk about using the F word.
Use the F word. All right. We'll bring it back then. We'll run it back. Jonah, I think we can come up with some new examples. some different things.
Yeah, we'll have some fun with it, right? That's really, really important because, just like Hannah said, I think so many people just don't realize that. And so instead of playing this Price is Right game, right, they play this. They play a Price is Wrong game.
Price
you know
is
what I mean?
Wrong.
Because they don't realize that financing aspect. So,
Okay, so we're bringing it. Love it. Okay, what else can we expect, and what are we going to see on day 2?
So then on day 2, so day 1 is really catered to, real life examples, but more so we need to get our mindset corrected. Okay, so day 1 is really dedicated to mindset.
Okay.
And like I said, real life examples too. But then day 2 is really for the implementation of everything that we're learning. Because honestly, I want y'all to leave the event thinking about, okay, now I have my mindset, I have my systems, I have my mentors. Now I have the steps and the resources of what I need to do once I leave this event to do something greater, accomplish these goals that I have for myself. So day 2 is really talking about implementation. And I know people loved this last year where Brent, so my father, is going to get into what he's been using to create passive income through his policies. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about even Mike and Sandra Fry. A lot of y'all on the Money Multiplier family here, y'all know Mike and Sandra, great, phenomenal people. Mike was in the oil fields for a long, long time, and how they paid off a boatload of debt and then transitioned to really getting into the investments of like tiny homes. Okay. And you might not be into tiny homes, but it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the foundation is your policy and what you like, know, and understand in the investment world. There's going to be people there in those specific categories. And then last 2 things is talking about tax-free income during retirement,
Okay.
which is powerful.
Yep.
So I don't know about y'all. I'm going to ask you this. Do y'all have any money in 401ks, IRAs, the market? Do you guys do any of that
You
stuff?
know we do. Well, market. Do you have any in the market right now?
do I have money in the market?
Yeah.
I do not. Oh, I think, you know what? I think I bought a Dogecoin on a bet. I bought like one.
How's it doing?
I don't know.
Okay.
Probably up, probably down.
All
It's
right.
not guaranteed.
So
I don't
no,
check it.
the qualified plans. I don't have any qualified plans. I've been unemployed and unemployable for about 15 years now. So I actually started my original policy, Hannah, in 2016 with qualified money. I pulled dollars out, took the hit, the penalty there, paid taxes, and funded my first year's premiums with my qualified plan. So I don't have one anymore.
Yeah. Yep. And this is your retirement strategy then, using the policies. Is that right?
100% gets better. There's more cash value today than there was yesterday, folks. So yes, 100%. So there are ways to use guaranteed products from insurance companies. The ones we love are the mutual ones for lifetime income. Most of that is going to be income tax free. And so you got it. That's the retirement plan.
And then lastly, too, okay, so then we talk a lot about building the wealth, but then how do we protect the vault, right? So we're going to be talking about protecting our cash values that we have, our assets that we have, getting into asset-based long-term care, getting into estate planning. So we're going to be really diving into those characteristics of our financial life as well. Because at the end of the day, how I kind of think about it is my policies, if you almost think about like your financial life almost like a triangle, my policies are the foundation or the base to my triangle. And then on top of that, you know, then I'll have my health insurance, my home insurance, my car insurance. And then you just keep building on top of this whole financial, I don't want to use the word pyramid, but almost like a pyramid, a triangle there. But at the end of the day, it always flows through my banking system first, which is my policies.
Hey, if it's going to be a pyramid, walk like an Egyptian, baby. I'm doing it. As long as my policies are that foundation. Yes. Okay, so Hannah, that is some of the GA, general admission stuff. What about VIP? You said at this recording, 5 tickets left, maybe 4, maybe 3 as we speak. I don't know. When does this episode go live? But what is going on for VIP? And that's on Thursday night, right? We've got some perks early. Okay.
October 9th, which is a Thursday, we're going to do hot seats. So
Okay.
if you want personal attention, you need to be at the VIP session.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you from working with just my own business coaches, my mentors, when they put me on the hot seats, yeah, it's freaking uncomfortable, but I learn a lot from being on that hot seat with all my peers watching me. So I really enjoy those hot seats just to get y'all into the groove of what you need to do to get that personalized attention of, okay, let me give you this checklist. This is what y'all need to be doing. Which, speaking of Brothers, I didn't even tell you this, but last week I just hosted my first women's mastermind event in Acapulco, Mexico.
Yes.
And I did this for one of my clients who is a part of our women's group.
Okay.
So we all sat down and we put her on a hot seat and we said, hey, these are the things you need to do. Here's your checklist, and I'm going to hold you accountable in our weekly meetings that we have.
Okay.
So it's similar to that. So we're going to do the hot seats, and then honestly, I have a special excursion that night where dinner will be held. We'll have drinks, and we can just network and get to know one another.
Hold on, I got a song for that, for the VIP folks.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
Okay.
Here comes the money.
You want to be VIP folks. That's what I'm saying with that one right
All right, I'll be there. Hannah, can I come? I know you're letting me walk in the back door free because I'm emceeing. We're on stage. I need to be at the VIP.
You know what you should do? You should
maybe.
You should give them a special event Thursday night, right? Thursday the 9th. Maybe you can sell, pay-per-view tickets, a little bit of a...
Okay. All right. Well, that's
against
when you're in the hot seat like that. That's what it's all about.
Chris, let's see. Let's
pull out the financial statements. Let's get out the balance sheets.
Jadu v. Mike Salmon.
That's what I'm saying. Yikes. Yeah, just put me against Mike Fry. I'll take him out. Oil Fit Jiffy Lube. I got you. Guys. Okay, well, I'm very excited about that. Now, Hannah, one more thing, though. There's a lot of people who listen to our podcast who are not as familiar with you. There's some people who listen to your podcast and your stuff who are not as familiar with us. Who is this event for? I know we've already talked about everything that's happening, but who should come to this event? What if we haven't started? Do we bring our plus ones who don't really know what we're doing? What about our adult children? What about our teenagers? Who should be there?
Yeah, actually, this is a beautiful question because actually on day 2, we're going to do breakout sessions where I'm breaking out the builders and the dreamers.
Okay.
Dreamers are my folks who have not started their infinite banking journey yet. Builders have. And so we're breaking out into 2 breakout session rooms so that we can really collaborate and build off of one another. But honestly, even if you haven't started, you need to be in the room. If you are a teenager, a young adult, someone who is in their 60s, 70s, 80s, I mean, this is really for you because what does Nelson Nash always say, y'all? You finance every single thing that you buy. You either give up the interest you could have earned or you pay out the interest to somebody else. And he always talks about the 2 businesses that you want to be in your lifetime. And the second business you need to, whether you want to or not, is that banking business. And that's what we're covering throughout this whole weekend, this whole event. So honestly, I think the only people that shouldn't come are my babies. Okay. Who's going to cause crying in the back?
Yeah.
That,
right. We love you, but we'll see you at the VIP event.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right. I wasn't ready.
Oh, okay. I didn't know babies
my fault.
were supposed to come. Okay, great. So yeah, that I thought it was like that. And last year, I know there were plus ones. There are folks who hadn't started. I remember that, who were very participatory. Right. There was a lot of interaction. That's why we brought a game show. We're going to bring a new game show back this year. Oh, come on. Oh yes. All right. Is it going to be Feud? Did you already decide?
No, I didn't decide.
Okay, we don't know.
I want to hype
Might
the
be
people
feud.
up. I want to hype the people up for the
good
game.
answer, John. Good answer. We're gonna hype them up.
Thank
Good
you.
answer. Survey says we might bring the feud. So I know that everybody should be a part of this. And as we coach people, as you mentor people into this process, it is detrimental if you're not able to expand this to your loved ones, your business partners, and your family members, and of course the second generation. You're already second generation doing this in your particular family. So this is for you, whoever's listening. It is for you. At any stage and level, we'll break things down. You can. So many of our Money Multiplier coaching associates and teammates will be there. You can ask us questions at lunch, in the lobbies, and of course, hot seat stuff if you want to go VIP. So I just want to make sure everybody knows. Yep, it is for everybody.
I'll say this too, J-Do. I mean, honestly, if me at 18 years old being a waitress at Cracker Barrel, and that's when I started my first policy, you can do it.
We heard about your Cracker Barrel.
Since you brought it up, we got to ask. The people are going to want to know.
Yes.
Oh
What
my!
about that
Can
new
we
logo?
talk about it? I was going to talk about it on my Thursday morning show this week.
Our people are ready too. We're ready. We can't wait till Thursday. What's going on?
Y'all, our logo. Come on.
Right.
Yeah.
Is this a good move? Is this a bad move?
In my opinion, you could hire me for $100 to make that logo better.
Got it. Okay. Got it. Maybe that's what they did. Yeah. Maybe that's what they did. Okay, we'll let you.
Here's the thing. I see it because when I was growing up, one of my favorite things that I would do is I would drive around the city when I was like 16 years old. I'd get my Nissan Altima, drive around, and I just love looking at the architecture. And you notice buildings nowadays, all these modern buildings, they're just very straight lined, boring in my opinion, lacking character. And that's how I feel about this logo. People want to modernize it, but in my opinion, it's lacking character. You know what Cracker Barrel really stood for. So that's
Bring back Uncle Herschel.
She's disappointed.
That is not Cracker Barrel music.
That was Krabby Patty. It was close. It was the best. It was the best thing I had.
All right. Okay, so we're going to settle that debate in October as well, folks. So bring your opinions about all that. Well, Hannah, this has been a great conversation with you. We're very much looking forward to being there. And Denver is a beautiful city, the most beautifulest airport. That's for sure. So we're looking forward to seeing all of you there and being able to shake your hand and helping you understand that infinite banking concept map that we lay out and or the save and spend system. However you think you might understand it, this is where you get into a room with 100, 200 people who are doing it, who also have questions, who also have debt to pay off, who also have kids going to college, who also got a van flooded in a hurricane. We're utilizing our policies in our actual real life as we grow, as our children grow, and this is the place to be. This is the number one event of the year. Let's do it.
And I hear you West Coast people. That's why we're doing in Denver this year. After all the events on the East Coast, people are like, you hate us. You never come over here. Okay, I hear you. That's why we're doing Denver this year.
Mountain time. Let's do it. Okay, well, folks, make sure you click the links wherever you listened or watched this episode of our joint podcast. We all are going to be there, and we want to put you on the red carpet and treat you right because you've been solo long enough. So we're going to multiply that money and create that code-cracking cash flow.
Good, man. Thank you.
Gave a lot of game, we never got a lot of things. Bow your head and say the prayer. We taught you how to be the bank.